Hello everyone, welcome back to Sweden. So last time, disaster struck. King Stenkil died, his heir died, and now we're left with a 7-year-old king on the throne. As far as King Mats looks, he has some fairly middling stats. We're going to try and get him some decent traits, and hopefully boost his diplomacy and stewardship as much as possible. He's currently being tutored by the Grand Mayor of Gotland, who does have some fairly decent diplomacy skill. We've picked up Zealous from him, and there are a few more traits we'd hopefully like to pick up. Kind would be a good one to have. Humble's always nice for the piety. Shy, not so much. And yeah, charitable gives us a nice bonus to diplomacy as well. I'm going to be a bit reluctant to switch my tutors around too much because I don't want to annoy people. We will be faced with a relationships penalty if we sort of fire him from being our tutor. So we also won a holy war last episode, so I'm going to have to create some vassals for this region here. I'm over my domain limits by 2 provinces, so I think what I'll do is I'll pick someone from my court and grant them to him, if I can find somebody. Okay, we'll try fast at the moment. What's he looking like? Kind, gregarious, patient, and a bit lazy. Yeah, he seems like a very good vassal. So I'll let him choose his own wife. With not being a part of our dynasty, I'm not too concerned about the bloodline. So you can have Raval and Nava. And yeah, unsurprisingly, you now love me. So, now that's out of the way, what's the next crisis? We have a dangerous faction forming. 79... Well, there's a faction forming, they own 79% of my military strength, relative, if that makes sense. The armies they can raise are equivalent to 80% of mine, how about that? Okay, and they're backing Duke Sven for the throne. Duke Sven, you may remember, is the guy whose wife we imprisoned, and he had a bastard son which has now been legitimised. So we're going to have to hope that they don't gain enough traction to rise up and challenge me. So let's get started. As far as this episode goes, the plan is to just sit back, allow some prestige to build up, and just, you know, pave the way for my coming of age, which is going to be quite some time away. Hopefully as time goes on we'll see people leaving this faction. My military will in fact grow as well as we recover manpower, and that should affect our strength in relation to the faction. I want to dissuade them from rising up. I don't want to have to put them down. I would get a nice bonus for doing so, but you know, I think it's best to just sit back for the time being, get some wealth built up, and see what happens. Okay, we also still have a few heretic vassals. Unsurprisingly, they don't like me. So once I've come of age and I'm in a position of strength, I will be trying to evoke some more titles and see what we can get away with here. Just speed things up a little bit, I suppose. Okay, there seems to be a war going on here. To make sure nobody actually picks up any of these territories. So there's a war being fought for Livonia, which I believe is around here, and there's a pagan conquest of Sarimar, wherever that is, and so that's not really going to affect us too much. What I'm concerned about is any holy wars being waged here, because it will be very difficult for us to reclaim those lands. Okay, so we've got some levy reinforcements in Sodermanland, that's quite nice. And here we go, we have a count trying to fabricate a claim on the Duchy of Uppland. I believe Uppland is one of the duchies I want myself, so You actually seem a fairly decent vassal, although you are unhappy. I will just ask you to end your plot. I'm not going to try and imprison you or anything like that. Yep, good choice. Okay, we're no longer under as much threat by the kind of enemy faction here. So, is it worth having a war? I know I said I'd take it easy, but fighting a war will increase my prestige, and of course continue expanding our borders. Okay, yeah, why not? Let's have a war. Okay. So I've been advised in the comments section that it's probably best not to just raise the entire realm's levy just to fight any little wars we may have going on. I do find that quite difficult to get on board with. There's just something amazing about chucking your entire levies at an opponent and wiping the floor with them. But I suppose to be sensible it would be the best way forward. So I'll just stick to raising armies along the coast and see how we do. Naturally, the higher the casualties we face here, the stronger the enemy factions will become in relation to ourselves. So let's hope this war isn't too costly. I'm sure the men are thinking the same thing, but you know. Okay, Finland has converted to Catholicism. That's excellent. We've got more religious spread. We're not seeing anyone joining in the war just yet, which is good, obviously. Let's get the troops sent out. They should intercept this army, and they have. There's going to be a bit of a terrain penalty on our side, but we should have enough numbers to swing the fight in our favour. And hopefully reduce the army to a point where they can no longer siege any of our provinces. That will save us having to chase them down. Okay, and as expected, the faction is now shown up on our radar and disappeared again. Okay, fair enough. Okay, Gila has died. The Count of Vasterbotten's wife. Okay, well that's not really an issue for us. There's just the one holding in this region, so the war should be over quite quickly. If nobody else joins in, once we win the siege, we'll have a 100% war score. The Pope is upset with us. Right, okay. Now, I really like having free investiture, and I do need the kind of relationship bonus that's giving us with my vassals at the moment. Annoying the Pope, however, is just opening the way to our excommunication. And one thing we really don't need is people having a casus belli on us. Therefore, I'm considering bribing the church. It will cost us a large amount of money, but I should still have enough to raise any mercenaries if the need arises. I have a positive balance, even though I have most of my personal armies raised. So, yeah, it's a tough choice. Do I risk incurring the Pope's wrath? He's not really a fan of me or so much to begin with. I'm not going to risk it. I'll just take the bribe option. Oh, it's painful. That's 2 castle villages we could have built. But yeah, I really can't afford to be excommunicated right now. Not only would everybody in the world have a casus belli against me, but there's also a relationships penalty with everybody. And I believe our diplomacy suffers as well. Okay, there's a new Count of Reval. Seems to quite like me. And I appear to be his heir as well. Who is this? It's not a family member or anything. Ah, right, the 2 provinces I just gave away. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I don't really want to get them back anytime soon. Okay. I revolt. Not really what I wanted to see happen right now. The siege is coming along quite nicely though, we're almost 3/4 of the way through. So we'll wait for this to finish and I'll just use this army to crush the rebellion. I'm not going to raise any mercenaries right now. Another faction has formed which could spell trouble for us. We don't want our crown authority being lowered. Have to keep an eye out on how many people join in. Okay, the siege should be over right about now-ish, maybe, perhaps? Okay, I think that actually bumped up a little bit, so I'm not sure how there. Okay, there we go. Right about now. Oh dear. Okay. Enforcing our demands. We've won a war, so we got a nice bit of prestige, which should help our relations with our vassals. And yeah, of course, we're over our domain limits. Okay, so Finland is one huge duchy, so there's no chance of just having one person with all of the counties. If we did that, we'd be under a huge amount of threats from them. So just checking what vessels we have at the moment. Count Tyke seems to like me. I don't want to give it to Count Nicholas. He does seem like a fairly decent guy, but he would have a rather big power block here. So let's... How about giving it to Countess Mare? She did quite well, didn't she? Oh, hang on. She was left to kind of take control of Finland from a very early age. But it seems she's actually married. She's actually taken part in a regular marriage, so her descendants are not part of my dynasty. And they appear to have some negative traits too. It's something to bear in mind. I mean, ideally, all of your vassals will be of your lineage because you'll have a kind of inherent relationships bonus. But oh, he's landed himself. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so that means that when these guys die, Count Sorfa and Countess Mare, their heir will have 2 counties, so we don't want to give them any more. Which leaves Count Tyke, really. Hopefully he won't die and leave us with these regions again to deal with. So have some children. Okay, so what now? We just have to deal with these peasants. Okay, I believe that should be enough boats to transport everybody. Okay, begin the landing. Get rid of the fleet. Not only do we want to win this fight, but we want to do so without taking any more casualties than necessary. Pretty standard advice, but you know, it's even more important than usual right now. Okay, well we didn't really seem to have too many problems waging that war. Would it be reckless to carry on? Yeah, I mean, I think I'll wait for the relationship penalty we have with our vassals through raising their levies to die down a little bit. Unless, of course, anybody attacks these provinces. Okay, a child lacks a guardian. My sister. My slow sister. Oh dear. Okay, so when it comes to breeding future wives, I think it's best to focus on diplomacy. Actually, let's have a think about this. She's not really going to be useful for anything other than perhaps forming an alliance with a stronger power. So, can we use her to increase relationship with any of my vassals, I wonder? I could give her to Sven, which would increase his relationship somewhat. And he doesn't seem to have too bad stats. So I might do that actually. Hopefully that'll be enough to persuade him from doing anything disruptive. Norway, of course, still very much in charge of England. Plenty of titles that can be created right now, but I'm hoping some of my vassals will do that. We can usurp Estonia. Really? Okay. Let's get her married. Ideally, we could get an alliance with Norway. Okay, we can betroth Linda to Parliament here. He's a prince of the Holy Roman Empire. That will gain us an alliance with Kaiser Henrik, and having the HRE on our side would be a very large boon. So let's try and arrange that. And yeah, as far as duchies go, yeah, this is Estonia. I'm not sure why that... I suppose they're the current holder of it. Okay, yeah, so Estonia is just kind of around here. Okay, so it's another holy war for Livonia. And my cousin has contracted consumption. Okay, I think... it could be time for another war. I just can't remain at peace. I just don't have it in me. This guy, High Chief of Tate, is currently fighting the Duke of Estonia here. Or the High Chief, is the High Chief of Estonia. So he's a bit distracted. Has quite a few allies. So... I'm gonna have another war. I raise all of my levies and send them against the enemy. It will be great. So Holy War for Estonia. Nearby rulers may well join in, but that's fine. I'm wanting to kind of defend the coast from Denmark here. Okay, so let's get everybody raised. What could go wrong? I'm not sure if anybody would like me to cut out the process of me loading everybody on board ships, because it's pretty annoying to do, so I'd imagine it's even more annoying to watch. It's a shame it can't be automated. I'll come back for you. Okay, let's get everyone down here. And we'll swing the Navy back to pick up the stragglers. Once again, just the one holding we're dealing with. But people are joining in this conflict. I'll attack this army and then swing back to Ingria. Got to disband this fleet, there's no need for 81 ships to be fielding. Okay, so Karelia are fielding about 1,000 troops. If they come for us, we can fend them off. The only issue is if they start to besiege any of my other lands, I may need to swing back and deal with them. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, they're heading north. They're going to try and siege somewhere far away. There's no way I'll be assaulting this fort. The casualties would be far too catastrophic. Okay. Yes, marry. Excellent, so we now have an alliance with the Kaiser of the Holy Roman Empire. We gained 100 prestige for that pairing. So yeah, good times. Okay, that's pretty much all of my infantry in Ingria. So let's see how long it takes us to claim this province. What's Denmark up to? They're fighting a holy war for Samikisha. Where is Samikisha? Oh, right, okay. Fair enough. I'm very happy to see you expanding out that direction. Okay, another peasant revolt. Oh. We're actually looking at some very large forces down here. Yeah, and here they come. Okay. I may need some help. So as a cost of 70 gold and a monthly cost of 4.27, I can raise almost 2,000 troops here. Which I think I may do, just to give us the advantage we need to win any fight. So I believe I'll need the mayor's troops, fleet, to carry such a large army. Hopefully winning this siege and beating the army should be enough to give us enough war score to end this war. Let's see how much we get. Ooh, only 44%. That's not good at all. Okay, let's get some leaders in this army and see how we do. I'm going to take a long way to get to this province because I don't want to cross a river. I don't think the penalty would incur would be enough to offset an advantage of 2,000 troops, but there's no need to throw away lives. I'm no humanitarian, I just need those lives to further my own goals. So yeah, hopefully there won't be a terrain penalty here. I can't see any rivers at least. Yeah, we're fighting on an even footing. That's good. Should have a huge boost to our war score here. Another revolt. I don't usually get a lot of revolts in Crusader Kings 2. Okay, yeah, it was pretty significant, but it doesn't seem to be significant enough. Oh, they stopped. Okay. Seems a bit strange. Well, let's see how we do crossing the river. Yeah, hardly any casualties at all there. That's nice. Whether it would have been the same with the large army we faced earlier, I don't know. Okay, so that's them taken care of. Yeah, we're starting to lose provinces to rebels right now. Okay. I think that's enough. I'll get this huge army up to the north and deal with the peasants. We own Ingria, so the war score is going to be continually increasing in our favour. Oh dear, I appear to be quite slothful. I hate Latin, I hate history, and I won't do my own work. Okay, I'll disband the fleet. Ah, Count Tyke died. It seems he managed to have a child though, so that's all. This Estonia region has fallen to... Oh no, sorry, Count Tyke was here, wasn't he? I'm getting confused. Okay. So yeah, Nilland has fallen to a newborn baby, Countess Elin. Aww. There's only 39 defenders, so let's just rush that siege and begin the march south into Karelia. Oh no, I'm blind. We already have enough war score. Enforce our demands. There we go. I will of course have to bring my troops back now to disband them. And the nearest province appears to be Candelax. Okay, so Ingria. So Count Fast appears to have died, and these regions have been scattered. So the idea of having a... I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys, I'm back. Okay, so yeah, the idea of having a unified duke in this region. Right, sorry, there's already a duke, I see. Okay, he usurped the title. Lovely. In that case, let's give him Ingria. Okay, so where were we? Yes, bring our troops back, disband them, and hopefully grow old quickly. So we've drastically increased our prestige in this episode, which should be giving our vassals a reputation boost with us. And we've had another conversion, Vastamon land this time. Can't quite see where that is. Am I being blind? Ah. Okay, yeah, lovely. Okay, so I think I'll call this episode for now. We've picked up a few provinces. I, of course, as always, planned to take things nice and easy and ignored that. And yeah, things are looking quite good for King Mats. He may not have had the smoothest of starts. He may be a bit lazy, but we'll see what we can do once he comes of age. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.